If you believe you have any information pertaining to this case, you are urged to contact the Doe Network by email at admin@doenetwork.org. Shortly after 5:30 a.m. on the 11th of October 1945, two policemen found a teenage boy rummaging in an alleyway on the streets of Jacksonville, Morgan County, Illinois. They hadn't seen the boy in the area before, and when they approached him, he shook his head and pointed to his ears to indicate that he was deaf. At 8:30 a.m., the Illinois State Police were notified of this boy's arrest and were given his description. He was a black male who the police estimated to be around 16 years old, with black or brown hair and brown eyes, who stood at about 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed about 115 pounds. He was mentally handicapped, deaf, and mute. He was clad in a thin shirt and a vest in spite of the cold October weather. Inside his vest, the name George Dunkley was written. It is unknown whether or not this was his real name. The Jacksonville Police Department asked the state police to check if two nearby state hospitals, the Lincoln State School and Colony and the Dixon Home, had any escapees. At 11 a.m., the boy was transferred to the Morgan County Jail. Half an hour after his arrival, the state police contacted the sheriff with the information that both the Lincoln State School and the Dixon Home had not reported any recent escapees fitting the boy's description. However, what the state police had found was that they had run into this boy before. On the 8th of October, 3 days before he was discovered in the alleyway, he was arrested in East St. Louis and booked into the Greene County Jail under the name George Dunkley. Again, this name was written inside his vest. He was held in the Greene County Jail for 2 days, then released on the 10th after being charged $1 for room and board. The very next morning, of course, he was found rummaging in an alleyway and was booked into jail again. Eventually, the boy, mute and unable to read or sign, was deemed feeble-minded and unable to communicate, and a judge sentenced him to the Lincoln State School and Colony in Jacksonville, when the authorities' efforts to locate his relatives were exhausted. The boy attempted to escape the Lincoln State School as soon as possible by trying, and failing, to pry the screens from the windows. After a while, this behavior ceased, and he seemingly got used to life in the institution. For almost 40 years, he remained in the Illinois mental health system and survived dehumanizing and abusive treatment. He was assigned the name John Doe No. 24, as he was the 24th unidentified individual to enter the state's mental health system. In later life, he develops blindness, probably as a result of diabetes, colon cancer, and depression. In 1976, his name was changed to John Doe Boyd for Social Security reasons. He eventually died of a stroke on the 28th of November 1993 at the Sharon Oaks Nursing Home in Peoria, Illinois. Officials believed he was around 64 years old at the time of his death. He took the secret of his true identity to his grave. However, he did leave behind some clues. He was in possession of a straw hat, which he seemed particularly fond of and loved to wear, and a collection of rings, glasses, and silverware, which he carried in a backpack he brought with him everywhere he went. He frequently scribbled the name Lewis, and was known for his, quote, pantomimed wild accounts of foot-stomping jazz bars and circus parades. It should be noted that the man's handwriting was, quote, very erratic, and he was originally thought by staff at the Lincoln State School and Colony to have been writing James as opposed to Lewis. With no one to claim him, he was buried in an unmarked grave. When singer-songwriter Mary Chapin Carpenter read an article about the man in the New York Times, she wrote and recorded a song for him named John Doe No. 24, which she released in 1994 and purchased him a headstone. This headstone reads, John Doe Boyd, life's a mystery, but so too is the human heart. Unknown to November 28, 1993. Life's a mystery, but so too is the human heart, are some of the lyrics to Carpenter's John Doe No. 24. I've listened to this song, and it really is quite touching. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the pinned comment. Journalist David Buck has written a wonderful book about this man, from which I retrieve much of the information I relayed in this video. The name of his book is God Knows His Name, The True Story of John Doe No. 24. I'll leave a link to where you can purchase this book in the pinned comment. Thank you to William for suggesting that I cover this case. I had heard about this man before you left your comment, but I'd never looked that deeply into his story. I've decided that I'm going to have to stop taking requests for a little while since I just have so many to get through at the moment. Another 8 to be exact. I'll let you all know on Twitter and in my videos when I feel comfortable taking requests again. If you're not following my Twitter and you'd like to, it's @silentholes and... As always, it's linked in the description. Anyway, I fear I'm digressing from the topic at hand. Forgive me. John Doe number 24's story truly is harrowing. It's also a bit of an odd one, as he hasn't yet been entered into NamUs or any other official databases for unidentified decedents. As such, the only appropriate contact agency I can think of are the people at the Doe Network. Again, you can contact them by email at admin@donetwork.org if you believe you have any information pertaining to this case. Thank you very much for giving Morgan County John Doe's case a moment of your day.